he's like this, right? I'm picking him up and I pull him, right? He's a skinny kid, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pulling up, right? And I just, whoa, and he fall on the floor, bro. And he's on the floor like this. He look at his arm and he just start crying, bro. And like out of nowhere, bro, his brother was like a year younger than me. He just came out of nowhere and just started socking me, bro. And I was eating them hoes, bro. I was eating them hoes. Oh shit. Alright, y'all, I'm back with another video, man. It's been about like 3-4 weeks since I last uploaded, man. I'm sorry for that, yo. Run out of video ideas. So comment below if any video ideas, or just hit me up on Instagram. Link down below, whatever. But today we have a story time, you know what I'm saying? I haven't did a story time in years, since I'm talking about like 2K17 days, bro. And I don't really like telling stories and stuff, you know, especially like sexual stories. I hate doing that because I think about like, bro, my kids are gonna see this, bro. Why would I talk about that? My kids are gonna see that, bro. I'm not trying to do that, bro. But yeah, today I'm gonna be telling y'all a story about the time I broke a kid's arm, y'all. Now look, I am not like an aggressive person or none of that, bro. It's just when you living in the hood, bro, like things happen, you know what I'm saying? Things happen, I don't know, but things happen, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into this video, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, comment and subscribe, and turn on that post notifications too, man. You already know how we rock it. Also, follow me on my TikTok right there at ISO Brody, you know, or Big ISO, my bad, at Big ISO, and my Instagram, Breadwinner. You already know how we rocking. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Alright, y'all, so we finna take y'all back to like, I don't even remember. I just know it's just like probably like 2011, 2012. You know, I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. I do not remember. I don't even remember what year it was. I just know I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. And you know, we was chilling, you know, it was a nice sunny day outside. And I'm asking my mom, hey mom, can I go outside? You know what I'm saying? You know, she said yeah. You know, sometimes she just be like, whatever, you know, or she just give you that look. Cause you know, she don't really want you to go outside, but you know, you can go outside. So I just went outside, you know, threw some clothes on, went outside, you know, we playing, right? I lived in the hood in South Central LA, in these apartments. It was like bad at the time. It was bad. Now the neighborhood is actually kind of like decent, you know what I'm saying? Still gangbanging over there, but like at the time, bro, I'm talking about, we lived in a neighborhood where it was the Brims. It was the West Side Harvard Brims. It was in there, right? And there was a whole bunch of gangbanging in that apartment, you know what I'm saying? Gangbangers everywhere. So my mom didn't really like when I went outside, you know what I'm saying? She didn't like when I go outside and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm outside chilling, you know, we playing outside, and it's just kind of getting late now, you know? It's around, like at the time, it was around those times where it's like, it starts getting late kind of early, like at 5 o'clock, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock-ish, you know what I'm saying? That's actually when it started getting late. So everybody was outside, you know what I'm saying? Like all the kids, it was at least about like 10, 15 people outside, or kids outside. We all playing, you know what I'm saying? And me and this kid, you know what I'm saying? We was play fighting. I didn't really like watching wrestling, but I just like to wrestle, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like we was wrestling on like concrete or whatever, where it kind of was. But it was like, I'm gonna try to draw this out if I can't find the video. I'm gonna draw like a little bird's eye view, alright? So it was a little like a squarish apartment, right? And then it had like a recreation room in the center. And then like next to the recreation room, to get in, you gotta pass like a little park or whatever, right? So, you know, we had the slide, and then like the little playground thing, and then the slide attached to it. And then it was like this little foamish part, right? Where, you know, so like, let's say if you fall or something, you won't actually like hurt yourself. Like you won't fall on concrete, you know what I'm saying? It was like pretty much matted turf, if that makes sense. If y'all know what turf is, or like the black stuff in the turf grass, like in the grass, you know, it's like that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we was, you know, wrestling, fighting or whatever, you know, doing all that stuff. And we was playing like Royal Rumble or something like that, right? So it was like me and like 3 other kids. I don't remember how many it was. I just know we was playing Royal Rumble, and we was like throwing each other over the gates and stuff, right? You know, having fun. Nobody was getting hurt. Nobody was doing anything. We were just, you know, we wasn't really punching each other. The only thing we was doing was grabbing each other and like trying to throw each other over the gate. So, and if you get over the gate, you're out pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, me and this dude, his name was Jabari, I forgot his name. We had ended up being like the last 2 or something like that. And you know, he was like 2 years younger than me, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't too small, but I know he was shorter than me, and it kind of was like an unfair match. but still I was just ready to, I was like trying to, you know, get him out the thing so I could win the match. So, you know, we tuggling, wrestling, all that stuff, right? And this is where he just starts going downhill immediately, all right? So I grab his arms, right? Like I get him into a position to where like, oh yeah, I'm finna end this dude's whole career type stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I grab his arm, like his arms is like back like this, you know what I'm saying, right? And I have my arms, I'm grabbing him like this, so my arms are between these little loops or whatever, if I could see. And he's like this, right? I picking him up and I pull him, right? He's a skinny kid, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So I pull him up, right? And I just, whoa, I didn't like slam him or none of that, right? I just picked him up and let him go, right? I just let him go, right? So he in the air, right? And he fall on the floor, bro. And he's on the floor like this. He look at his arm and he just start crying, bro. I'm talking like, my arm. And everybody look at us and was like, what's happening? What happened? It was like a whole bunch. I'm talking about like all 15 people came over there. You know, half of them was his family, because like in that apartment, it was like a whole bunch of people that was like family that lived in that apartment, right? It was like one whole big family that lived in that apartment, right? So his cousins, the two oldest people that was there, I think at the time it was like 15 or 16 and then 14 or something like that. Those are two oldest people. I remember Marcus and my boy Chris. Shout out to y'all, man. I haven't seen them in years, bro. Ever since I moved out those apartments. They came over. They was like, what happened? And like out of nowhere, bro. His brother was like a year younger than me. He just came out of nowhere and just started socking me, bro. He was like, you hurt my brother. And I was eating them hoes, bro. I was eating them hoes. I was not even paying attention to him. I was just trying to answer their question, like, what happened, you know what I'm saying? So while his brother was punching on me and all that stuff, bro, I was just like, bro, I don't know what happened. Like, we was wrestling and I picked him up and I threw him on the floor and all that stuff. And it was like, bro, and the dude is literally right there on the floor crying. They not even caring about what he talking about. They want to know what happened. They asking me what happened, you know what I'm saying? He's still on the floor like, my arm. And you could see like the bone popped out of his socket or whatever. I don't know, but you could just see it, right? So everybody was like, they crowd around my boy Jabari, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was feeling sour, like, bro, what did I do, bro? I can't get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? I can't get in trouble, all that stuff, right? So they pick him up and they took him to his house, you know what I'm saying? His house was on the second floor, so they had to take him up the stairs. At this time, like when he got to his house, he wasn't like really screaming, but he was just like crying. He was like, you know, all that stuff, right? So, you know, they knock on his dad's door and he came out like, what happened? It was like his arm broke, EJ broke his arm and all that stuff. But his dad was real cool about it. He was like, oh, it's all right, man. Just come in the house and all that stuff, right? So, you know, they closed the door, you know what I'm saying? And at that point, bro, I just took off running. I ran to my house. I lived on the 3rd floor, you know what I'm saying? So I just ran to my house, ran inside, and like 5 minutes later, my mom was like, you hungry? You trying to get something to eat? And we went to Taco Bell, bro. So pretty much I got out that situation, you know what I'm saying? I just got out that situation. I didn't even tell my mom or nothing, bro. I just went in the house, you know, act like everything was normal and everything. So we went to Taco Bell, right? You know, we ate. Like 20 minutes later, we came back and we walk into our door and we see his grandma. You know, like I'm telling you, their whole family lived there, bro. Like everybody, the cousins, the grandma, the auntie, everybody lived there. You know what I'm saying? She was like, she wanted to let my mom know that she knew that I broke his arm and all that stuff, and she was just making sure that he's okay and all that stuff. And they took him to the hospital and all that stuff, right? And my mom was like, wait, he broke his arm? I didn't even know that. And I'm thinking my mom was finna smack me so hard. I thought she was finna give me the worst whooping of my life, bro. That's why I didn't tell her. So we go in the house, right? My mom just told me to like start packing up all my toys and all that stuff, right? I'm thinking she about to whoop me or something, bro. Nah, she didn't even whoop me, bro. I was like, bro, what is she doing? So she just told me like take out all my toys and all that stuff. And she just gave like half of my toys to him, bro. And I'm not saying we was a rich people or none of that, we lived in apartments or whatever, but I had a lot of toys at the time, you know what I'm saying? I had a whole bunch of toys, bro. I'm talking about, bro, if you went in my room, I had like a mean Hot Wheel collection, bro. It wasn't even a collection. I just had a whole bunch of Hot Wheels. I had the little tracks, the cars, everything, bro. I had a whole bunch, bro. We gave all that junk to him, bro. It was crazy, bro. And I was like sad because, bro, those were my favorite. I used to love Hot Wheels, bro. You know, I didn't go outside for months, bro. I'm talking about like probably like 3 or 4 months I didn't go outside. And so that was like around the time where I started, you know, getting on the Xbox or whatever. But within those months, you know what I'm saying, we was taking care of him. Like it was like every 2 weeks we was buying like gift cards and stuff like that, like saying get well soon and all that stuff. And my mom would still give him some of my toys too. Like she would give bits and pieces, like she'll give him like 3 or 4 cars, like put them in a pack, and then she'll buy like some more like other stuff with it too, you know what I'm saying, like some new stuff. Like it's so crazy that they mom and their dad was actually like real cool about it. Like they wasn't even tripping. The chair, y'all, that was like when I like broke the kid arm, you know, kid arm. I haven't really like did anything bad, like bad like that. Well, I did kind of like shoot his cousin in the eye with a BB gun. But if y'all want that video, man, make sure y'all spam up the like button and comment too. Make sure y'all comment y'all want this video and all that stuff. Once again, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys turn on that post notifications. We on a road to 10K, man. You already know how we rocking. Don't forget to follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram, Breadwinner and Big ISO. And yeah, subscribe if you're new. Join the crew. Your boy ISO Brody. And I'm out.